Hey, what's up, guys? So, I didn't post anything last week because my son was born, uh, and I'm still pretty busy, so I actually didn't want to do this particular video yet, but I think this one will be easy for me to do with my schedule at the moment. So, this is going to be a bro split program. It's going to be a little bit different than a bro split than any bro split you may have seen before, though, because I'm actually going to divide legs into two separate days. There's going to be a quads and calves day and a hamstring and glutes day. But it's still going to be a 5-day bro split. I'm also going to be organizing things in such a way that hopefully everything at least gets hit somewhat twice a week. Even if that's not the focus, you'll see what I mean once we get to the program. But first up, who is this for? Probably more intermediate lifters. Beginners can run this, but I would say not novices. What do I mean by that? I mean that you should have probably 6 months to a year of consistent lifting before you run a bro split. And more importantly, okay, you need to know how to train hard, okay? Because on a bro split, you're focusing on one muscle group per day. That means that you really should know how to push yourself hard, okay? I'm not going to be doing this with insane amounts of volume because I assume that you know how to train to failure. And if you happen to be thinking like, oh, well, who doesn't know how to train to failure? Then probably you don't. Either that or you've been doing it for so long that you just don't remember having to learn how to do it. And if that's the case, then this probably isn't going to be a program for you. If you're that far along, you're probably writing your own programs. Anyway, to give you an overview of what we're going to do. So day 1 is going to be chest and biceps. Day 2, we're going to move on to quads and calves. Day 3 then is going to be back and triceps. Day 4 is going to be shoulders, and day 5 will be hamstrings and glutes. So like I said, day 1 is going to be chest and triceps, and we're going to start off with a superset of inclined bench press, 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps, superset with either easy bar curl or barbell curl, whichever one you prefer. Personally, my wrists prefer the easy bar, but that will also be 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps. Second superset, we're going to go decline dumbbell bench press. I absolutely love this one. This one is awesome for pushing to failure, for pushing your chest to failure. Really, really great. I actually like this better than chest dips for my lower chest. And the stretch that you get is insane. It feels so good. And that's going to be 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps again. And we're going to superset that with dumbbell preacher curl, 3 sets of, I'm going to say 6 to 12 reps because in my experience, moving up in weight on dumbbell preacher curl, you need a little bit of a wider rep range for that. Now, can you swap this out for like an easy bar preacher curl? Absolutely. I just said dumbbell here because I figure if you're doing doing decline bench press with dumbbells anyway, it may be convenient for you to just, adjust that bench up and then do your preacher curls off the back of it. But if you prefer to use an easy bar, go for it. Third superset, last superset for this day. Okay, we're going to do 3 sets of AMRAP, as many reps as possible on the Pec-Dec. And this is going to be a finisher just to absolutely try to fry your chest. And you're going to superset that with dumbbell hammer curls, also 3 sets of AMRAP, as many reps as possible. And a tip I'll give if you've never done this before, I mean, this is something that guys have done forever. But when you're doing your hammer curls, okay, do them with 2 arms, and then when you hit failure, start doing them alternating, and that'll help you push a little bit further. Then you want to finish off your chest and biceps day with a little bit of ab work, or at least I like to throw in some ab work here and there where I can. So you're going to do 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps on decline sit-ups. Be sure, if you can do these with body weight, to hold some kind of weight. I don't care if it's a dumbbell, I don't care if it's a plate, just hold something while you're doing your sit-ups. Day 2, quads and calves. Now, this is meant as a hypertrophy program, so rather than a barbell squat, I'm going to have you start off with 3 sets of 5 to 8 reps or 4 to 8 reps of a hack squat, because I think hack squats are going to be a little bit better for quad hypertrophy compared to a barbell squat. Then we're going to follow that up with 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps of Bulgarian split squats. You can do these with dumbbells or on a Smith machine or whatever you prefer, but make sure you get your Bulgarian split squats in. They're brutal, they're insane, but man, do they work. After you've done that, I want you to follow up with 3 sets of leg extensions, 10 to 15 reps per set. Then moving on to calves, this is going to be pretty simple. 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps standing calf raise. Personally, I prefer these with a barbell. If you've never tried it with a barbell, give it a shot. You'll see why I prefer it. Then we're going to follow it up with 3 sets of 10 to 15 on seated calf raise. And again, we're going to finish off with some ab work. And for this, we're going to do 3 sets of 12 to 20 with the ab wheel. Now, if your gym does not have an ab wheel, that is perfectly fine. Get a barbell, put a couple of bumper plates on there. They don't have to be heavy. They can be like, 10-pound bumper plates or whatever, and just use that, okay? Just grab onto the barbell and then roll out, and that works perfectly fine. Day 3, we're doing back and triceps. So for this one, again, we've got some supersets. First superset is going to be 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps on pull-ups. Hopefully by this point, if you're going to run this program, you can do pull-ups. If not, go with lat pull-downs, but you should be able to do pull-ups if you're going to run this program, I think. And obviously, if you can, add some weight. Not everybody's going to be able to do that, but do it if you can. And you're going to superset that with 3 sets of, again, 6 to 10 reps on close grip bench press. So here we're mostly focusing on triceps, but we're also hitting a little bit of chest to try to get a little bit of stimulus after chest day. Next superset, you're going to do 3 sets of, again, 6 to 10 reps, but this is going to be on bent over barbell row. This is going to hit your whole back. Bent over rows are just an amazing, amazing exercise. They're awesome. I love them. And they're so much fun to do. Big tip for this one, and this is something that I learned listening to Lee Haney. You want your lower abs to be resting on the top of your thighs while you do these, and that's going to help you keep a little bit better form. And you're going to superset these with 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps on overhead extensions, preferably on a cable stack, but if you prefer to do a French press with a dumbbell, so holding the dumbbell overhead and lowering it back behind, that's also a fantastic way to do it, because I know in some people's gyms, the access to the cable stack isn't always the best, so if you prefer, or if out of necessity you want to do it with a dumbbell, absolutely a great option. Last superset for back and triceps. So first you're going to do 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps on a T-bar row, and for this one I want you to use the neutral grip handle. Okay, so that you're going to be working your mid traps, but you're also going to be getting some lat activation in that from your elbow position and the narrow grip. So that way you'll be getting a good mix of traps and lats. And then superset this with 3 sets of 8 to 12 on the Smith machine JM press. If you have never done a JM press before, start light, work your way up slowly, but this is honestly a really, really, really phenomenal exercise. If you don't have access to the Smith machine, you can also do this with an easy bar, although I would prefer it that you do it on a Smith machine. I think it works a little bit better on a Smith machine. And if anybody gets elbow pain doing this, then just swap it out for a tricep push down. Also 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. Last exercise for back and triceps is just going to be a back exercise. We're going to hit the lower back. And for this, we're going to do 3 sets of 5 to 8 reps on Zercher deadlift. For anybody who has never done a Zercher deadlift, which is probably going to be all of you, look up some tutorials on this. It looks kind of intimidating, but start really low as you can in weight, and slowly work your way up. And I guarantee you that this exercise will, over time, absolutely bulletproof your lower back. I cannot tell you how much I absolutely adore this exercise because of its ability to just build a lower back of steel. Like, it's awesome. I cannot praise this exercise enough. Going into day 4, shoulders. First exercise, if you've seen any of my other free program videos, then you already know that I absolutely love behind the neck press, and that's what we're starting off with. 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps with behind the neck press. If you haven't done this before, start with just the bar. I say this every time, start with just the bar, because you need to build up the shoulder mobility necessary to do this exercise safely. So start with the bar, work your way up slowly. One thing I don't think I've mentioned before is, what do you do in the meantime while you're working up in weight? Do you just do that and call it good? No. While you're working up in weight, what you do is you use this as your shoulder warm-up. Okay, so you do a couple of sets with just the bar or a low weight, whatever you happen to be on as a warm-up, then go into either overhead press or dumbbell shoulder press for your working sets. Once you've worked up the behind the neck press to probably about half or a little bit more than half of your typical shoulder press or overhead press weight, then you're good to just use the behind the neck press as your working sets. Okay, because with behind the neck press, how many times have I said behind the neck? Anyway, with this one, the amount of weight you're going to be able to push is much lower than what you'll be able to lift with an overhead press. So once you're using a little bit more than half the weight that you normally do for shoulder or overhead press, you're good to go to use behind the neck press as your working sets. And this one is fantastic because it is going to hit all 3 heads of the shoulders, and it is a fantastic exercise. I don't care if anybody hates on it. It is superior to overhead press in my opinion. Also, of course, you can do this with a barbell or on the Smith machine. On a Smith machine, it feels a little bit more smooth in my opinion, but either one is okay. After that, you're going to go into 3 sets of, I like to do 8 to 16 reps on lateral raises. Dumbbells, cables, machine, doesn't matter. Pick your favorite, do your lateral raises. After that, next exercise, this one might be a little controversial, 3 sets of 8 to 12 on upright rows. Now, a lot of people get shoulder pain with upright rows. That can be fixed. Promise you it can be fixed. If you're using a barbell or an easy bar, go with a wider grip, okay? I don't want you upright rowing here unless that feels fine to you, in which case, go for it. I want you to take a wider grip, okay? When you take a wider grip, you're not gonna be able to get it up as high, but it is gonna hit more of the shoulders, and it will be a little bit more comfortable on the shoulders. And in fact, to be honest, I can do upright rows with an easy bar, no problem, but then my elbows hit the plates. And if I go to a barbell, my shoulders are just in so much pain until I take that wider grip. And that is going to take that's also going to take the traps a little bit out of it and shift more emphasis onto the shoulders, which is good. If that doesn't fix your elbow pain, then you can use dumbbells, and that should do it, or you can go over to a cable stack and use a rope attachment and do upright rows like that, okay? One of those is going to be fine for your shoulders. So if you get shoulder pain doing upright rows the normal way, try one of those variations. I promise you one of them is going to work for you, and it's going to feel fine. Next, we're hitting rear delts with 3 sets of, again, 8 to 16 on the reverse Pec-Dec. After that, we're going to hit traps, and we're going to do 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps on barbell power shrugs. Power shrugs look gimmicky. They look like ego lifting, but they do work. They really work. Finally, last exercise for shoulder day, we're going to hit abs again, and just like on chest and biceps day, on shoulders day, you're going to do 3 sets of 8 to 12 on decline sit-ups. Last day, day 5, hamstrings and glutes. We're going to start off with 3 sets of 5 to 8 reps on RDLs, Romanian deadlifts. As much of a fan as I am of taking every set to failure, do not take your RDLs to failure. That is a bad idea. Go to technical failure. If you can't keep good form with your back, then you're probably good. But focus on getting a nice deep stretch on the hamstrings and hit your 5 to 8 reps, 3 sets. Next is leg curl, 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps, and seated or lying, preferably seated, but lying leg curls are still a fine exercise. They're still a great exercise, and they're infinitely better than not doing leg curls at all. Next, this one might be a little bit controversial, okay? But next, I want you to do 3 sets of 8 to 12 on regular deadlifts. Okay, we are not going heavy on these, okay? Because some people might be like, oh my God, why are you doing RDLs and deadlifts on the same day? You'll be fine if you're smart about this, okay? This is why we're going lighter, a little bit higher rep range, and this is why we're doing them last, okay? Our hamstrings should be pretty fatigued. Our lower back has gotten a little bit of a break because we've just done leg curls. So you should be able to do these safely in the 8 to 12 rep range to hit your hamstrings. Do exercise caution with this, but I promise you, for anybody worrying about, fatigue, doing RDLs and deadlifts in the same workout, you can do it. Your body will adapt. Just do not take these to failure. Take them as close as you safely can. Use your best judgment. And this is another reason why I said this program would probably be better for intermediate lifters. But trust me, if you're not lifting like an idiot, you will be fine. Next, we're going to move on to glutes, and we're going to start off with 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps on hip thrusts. I've only ever done barbell hip thrusts, so that's all I can really recommend personally. But if you like doing machine hip thrusts and your gym has a hip thrust machine, personally I've never seen one in person, but if your gym has one and you like it, awesome, do that. Next is going to be 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps on hip abduction. So go over to the hip abduction machine. If you're confused between adduction and abduction, the one that I'm recommending in this program is the bad girl machine. So you have the good girl machine and the bad girl machine. Good girl machine is adduction, where you push the weight, push your legs closed. Bad girl machine is abduction, where you push your legs open. That's the one you want to do. Try to lean forward as much as you can, and this is going to absolutely hammer your glutes. And again, we're doing a little bit of ab work to finish this off, and it's just going to be 3 sets of 12 to 20 on the ab wheel, or using the barbell to roll out if your gym does not have an ab wheel. That pretty much does it for this program. So if you are still watching, thank you so much. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Let me know what kind of training split you would like me to make a program for next. Might be a couple of weeks before I drop another free program because I'm hoping that I have a little bit more time next week to do a different kind of video, and maybe even the week after that too. But if you like the fact that I'm giving free programs, go ahead and drop a like, let me know. And otherwise, have a good one, and I will see you next time.